Hey everybody, it's been a while. This is Thunder Hands. My friends call me Thunder. Man, I'm telling you, I've been doing a little traveling here back and forth between Arizona and San Diego. And if anybody doesn't think that something's wrong with the weather, they better look at what's going on right now on the coast because, well, let's put it in perspective here. I was up in Williams, Arizona, and it was about 75 degrees. There was some thunderstorms, a little bit of hail, kind of nice, cool breeze. This is Arizona. This is supposed to be hotter than other states. Of course, northern Arizona isn't that way, and that's where Williams is, 7,000 feet. But I come back to Southern California, and it's like 2 weeks, and this is San Diego, which is normally 75 degrees, maybe 80 tops in the worst part of the summer. 90 degrees here for 2 weeks. And besides that, we got a hurricane coming up the Baja Peninsula, which is just below San Diego, which is on the west. Hurricanes never come up Baja. They always make a U-turn and go out to sea. This one's coming like a freight train right on up, so I suppose that's going to hit San Diego with at least some moisture. I know it's going to drench Arizona and Nevada, Las Vegas, probably flood it out. This is unheard of, people. Unheard of. Even the Weather Channel people are saying, historical. Yeah, historical. This shit doesn't happen normally. And I'm sitting in a room with the air conditioner on right now in San Diego, and it's 86 degrees inside with air conditioner and fans. So, you know, that ain't cutting it for me. And if people think that there ain't no friggin' weather manipulation or something going on with the weather, they got another think coming, okay? But let me touch on some other subjects because it's been a while. I'm still watching the Ukraine-Russia thing. You know, the latest thing is that there was a ceasefire proclaimed between the authorities in Kiev and the separatists or whatever, and the West promised Putin that if there was a ceasefire that everything would be, well, after the ceasefire, they still sanctioned him. For what? What are these psycho friggin' maniacs doing? Here he complies with what they want as far as he's being too nice. And Paul Craig Roberts is somebody that I watch real close, and he's saying that if Putin doesn't do something right now drastic, I mean, like hit a home run in the, stick it up your ass department to Ukraine and teach these assholes a lesson, that they're gonna do something. They'll either assassinate him, or they got a group of people in Russia that are pro-Western, left over from the days of, oh, we're free now because we can be democratic and have McDonald's and all that bullshit. They got a group of people there that they could turn against, or try to turn against, Putin. So Putin better, my advice, Vlad, buddy, kick some ass, okay? Go in there before they put you under. Now the French were supposed to deliver some ships, and they reneged, and then they backed out again because they knew that their economy was going to be in a shambles if they didn't deliver. And Putin's threatening sanctions if they sanction him with the oil and gas thing. This just goes on and on and on like a fairy tale storybook tape loop, okay? And then we got ISIS. Let me tell you my take on that. That's all BS. I've been scanning around, and some people are saying that this whole thing with the beheading, that could be all staged. That could be all just like 9/11. That could be a false flag. It could be, I'm not saying it is, but 99.99% chance. First of all, these guys are wearing masks. Well, what are they wearing masks for? What do they care if we see their ugly face? What, are we going to go get them or something? Or are we going to, you know, oh, facial recognition, I guess. Well, that's not the reason they're wearing masks, these ISIS people. It's because half of them are CIA and half of them are what used to be called Blackwater is now called Greystone. They're mercenaries, okay, in there. And this whole thing could be just a subterfuge for bombing Syria again, because oops, we missed the ISIS, but we hit Assad, and so you never know what's going on here. You don't really know. But we do know one thing, that that's all BS. That whole thing, I think it's an act. I think that they're, yeah, let's make a thing where, let's make the bad guys, let's make everybody fear the bad guys in ISIS. I recently did a post. There is no terrorism in the United States. Not since 9/11, when they scared the shit out of everybody and passed new laws and took away all our rights and all that stuff. There is no terrorism. There hasn't been for 13 years. You seen anybody running around blowing up airplanes or strapping bombs to themselves and walking into malls or doing any of this stuff that they do in other countries? Have you ever seen any terrorism here? And it's not because they're protecting us, because the borders are wide open, people. Get a clue. It's because they're the terrorists and they're creating terrorist factions in other countries so that they can always say, well, they might, quote unquote, come over here. They're not going to come over here. If anybody comes over here, it'll be our own government, like they did with 9/11. Yes, our own government did that. Okay, get over it. They were complicit in doing that. Or they let the globalists or whoever do it, and millions of dollars were made that day. And people go, oh, but the victims, 3,000 or whatever it was. I've got news for you. More people die and they're slipping in their bathtub. Not that I don't have feelings for these people, but half the families know what I'm talking about here. Question the whole deal. So the point I'm trying to make is that the ISIS thing is just like the 9/11 thing. It's a shock doctrine thing. Let's shock people. And while people are shocked, what do? When they fear for their lives, what do? Oh my God, you bet, just save us, save us. Pass some more laws, beef up the police state more. What a bunch of dumb shits. That's all I gotta say. It's something that, you know, is really easy to figure out if you look at it and you're not brainwashed. Now recently I was on the train and I had breakfast, and they make you sit with other people on the train. This is community seating. Okay. Boy, are those people sorry they ever got me in their booth or their table. Because I start talking and you can't stop me. And you know, a lot of these people are younger and some are not so young, but I start talking about truth and all this stuff and what's going on in the world. And I was talking to a young guy, a young trucker from New Mexico that just got married. I started telling him some of this stuff, and it's like, he maybe listened a little. He goes, well, my dad's into that. He's out in the hills and he's got ammo and guns and silver and gold, and he's got a bunch of food stashed. And I go, good for him. You should listen to him. Because this kid was also telling me that he was a trucker, okay, an independent trucker, I guess, and that they're making him do some ebook thing, computerized thing, about logging their time and hours or loads or money or whatever. And he's going, I'm going out of business. I got to sell my truck because I can't make any money if they do that. In other words, he keeps 3 logbooks, one for him, one for the government, one for just to make money, because they can't make money with the gas prices. They have to cut corners, they have to cheat a little just to survive. Well, they can't do that anymore because the government has a thumb on them now. So if a bunch of independent truckers go out of business that deliver goods and services and food, well, guess what that's going to do to food prices? This is another great Obama idea. What a dipshit he is. And I'm not political. I think they're all dipshits, actually. I can't believe the stuff that people allow to happen. And then they sit around on YouTube and these different places and they go, they give their stupid opinions, which opinions are like assholes. Everybody's got one, and they stink, okay? Unless you know what you're talking about. Unless you have some kind of sense or some kind of handle on what's going on. Unless you're awake. Oh, it's the Jews. Oh, Christ is coming and he's going to save us. Oh, this and oh, that. And then the trolls come in and just call you outright names. Let me tell you something here. I and other people that speak truth have been attacked severely by the government. Have been attacked severely. Set up with schemes, infiltrating into like the CAMPFIRE Council, people trying to set me up, government men, trolls. This is happening to a lot of people like us that speak truth. So if you want me out here, you have to support me. Now we got to get a new thing going here. We got to get a radio program, and I've talked about this before. We got to syndicate, get a radio program, get something going other than the YouTube BS, because this ain't going to be here much longer, people. And so we need to, those that are interested, and some have expressed a desire, we need to pool our resources. I need support on a donation level, or maybe investors, or maybe sponsors. Like if you own a retail store, or if you're in a business, I can exchange, ads for you in exchange for you supporting some kind of truth network. I won't be able to cuss as much, but I can use other words to I don't know what they allow on air anymore. I hear all kinds of things. I mean, well, they'll allow Beyonce to practically masturbate on stage, so I guess maybe it's okay now. Was that the Beyonce that did that? I don't know. I didn't even watch it, but if they'll allow that, I mean. So we need to, like, get a grassroots thing going here. One by one, these people on YouTube are going down, these alternative people. Either that or they're starting to charge for their services, which I just won't do. Okay, I won't do that. I'll do donations, and that can be done on my website, Campfire Council, campfire-council, COUNCIL.com. Links below in the About section, and maybe one will pop up here. But I don't see anything getting any better, and it's not going to get better. And food prices are going up, and when these truckers go under, I don't know when that is, a month or two. When they go under, food prices are just that alone. All those truckers that just can't make it anymore, I feel sorry for them. I got friends that are truckers. Okay? And I know that they skimp, I mean, with gas prices and everything, they have to cheat a little. They have to make ends meet, just to live, just to operate, just to, you know? And it's not like they're cheating, like they're ripping a bunch of people. It's just that they're cutting corners a little. But they won't even let them do that anymore. If they got an e-book, what are they going to put, an e-chip in your third eye here pretty soon? Screw these MFers. They're trying to kill the population. Why? There's plenty of land everywhere for people. I mean, yeah, there's 7 billion people on the planet. But take a train trip from the coast over to Arizona, and you see nothing but miles and miles and miles of open land and space. Now, if with their technology, if they just use that space and developed it and put in solar panels or whatever that they could do, instead of building all this BS in cities, apartment complexes and high-rise condos and McDonald's and Starbucks and on and on and on and on, all this crap that they build in the cities, man, if they took that money and spread it out in these open spaces and built beautiful little irrigated communities, they could even build domes over them if they wanted to. You know, that's been done before. Technology is way, way ahead of what you think it is. It's way ahead of what you think. It's 100 years beyond what you think it is. And what are they using it for? Weird shit. Like this weather thing that's happening right now. What are they doing? And you know, weaponry and stuff to kill people. You know, they talk about their goddamn New World Order, where they want everything to be peaceful, and they want well, not peaceful, but in control. Who knows what they want? But back when I was growing up, it was supposedly, you know, when all these new things came in, like streamlined refrigerators and toasters, and this was before the microwaves even, but when they were starting to like update after World War II, and they were starting to update everything and streamline, even trains were streamlined, cars started getting streamlined, robotics started coming in, They were saying this is for the betterment of mankind. Mankind won't have to work anymore. He can work 2 or 3 days a week and let the robots do the work for him and devote his time to other creative activities or whatever, spend time with the family. That was all BS. They took all that technology and turned it into some kind of monstrous killing Star Wars laser beam shit. You name it. Pharmaceuticals. I'm telling you, they could cure every disease in the book. And they probably can right now. They just don't want to. They could make every family comfortable. Everybody could be living on their own little plot of land and grow their own food and then contribute back to society and barter. Okay? This is stuff that they could do right now. With all that wide open space out there, they could develop little communities of people that, you know, with earth-friendly homes and plots of land and grow. The people could grow their own food. They could have extra food and sell it back to the markets or other people and do bartering. Like I know of a family in LA, right in the middle of, well, I don't think it's LA. I think it might be, it's up in that area a little bit more inland, but they're a Spanish family and they got a house and it just so happens that they had a lot of land around the house. So they figured, well, let's grow gardens and grow our own. So they started planting stuff and they got so much food just out of the land around their house that they're selling it to stores now and they never have to worry again about what they're going to eat. And this is in the middle of a city almost. So if you could do that there, why can't you do that out in the wide open spaces, self-sufficiency? And then the government could reimburse these people or what's the word I'm looking for here? Fund them, back families so that everybody could be self-sufficient. We wouldn't even have to work. Why would you have to work if you had a little plot of land and you could grow your own food, maybe raise a few animals and have eggs and a cow that has milk? Why would you need to work? That would be your work. And that's what the Bible says. Every person should live under their own vine and fig tree. That's what it means. You should be your own farmer. You should be your own boss and take care of your own family. And if everybody did that, if they encouraged that sort of thing with technology, instead of all this other crap, living in the cities, going to work every day on freeways, spending tons of money on gas just to get to work. People, you need to friggin' wake up. Wake the up, will you? You got to demand this stuff. You got to listen to thunder because thunder knows. I'm coming from a Native American Taoist perspective, and the Native American lived off this land fine for hundreds of thousands of years, probably. At least 20, 30,000 years, and they had huge cities and everything else. Beautiful cities, built on the side of cliffs and stuff. And so all these lemmings, all you people that have turned yourself into lemmings and dependent on the government, and I can't say I'm not dependent, have let them control everything and just kill us. Kill us with their technology instead of extending our life, letting us go out, produce natural foods, our own foods that we don't have to worry about whether there's any GMO, our own animals that we could slaughter, our own Well, if you don't want to eat meat, be a vegetarian. I don't care. But you could learn to hunt. You could, trap. My dad was a trapper and a hunter and a tracker. That's where I got some of my training from. And ideas, by the way, ideas. No, I'm telling you, people, this is all an illusion. This whole thing with living in the city in apartments and going to work every day and getting on the freeway, quit being a slave. Quit being a friggin' slave and stand up and have some courage and balls to say, hey, no more. But you all have to do it at once. Not one or two people can do it. But people are stupid. They just go along with this shit. And in the meantime, they're developing all kinds of ways to get rid of you. Vaccines and viruses and GMO foods and all this stuff. Now, we already know that these people like Obama and the politicians, they should be hung. Seriously. Just for a little while. We wouldn't want them to die or anything. We'll just hang them up and let them dangle for a while and then set them back down. Are you all right now? Just so they come to their senses and quit killing people. It's funny how, they have double standards about, they can talk about how they can kill anybody they want, but we can't. They can kill women and kids and children and whatever. I don't think that the presidency or the queen or the prime minister of any country or any is above anything as far as that they're elite or that you should look at them like they're just untouchable or something. They ain't no better than anybody else. They're worse. Should be tarred and feathered for allowing this stuff to happen. It really pisses me off. So I look around and I see my fellow man in misery and all this stuff going on in Ukraine, different countries, hundreds of thousands of people being killed. They're not above the law of killing all these people, are they? Or killing us or making us die slowly. They're not above the law with that, but yet we can't say anything about them because then we're terrorists. You know what? You can stick it where the sun don't shine. That's what it is. That's my take. Okay? You politicians can stick it where the sun don't shine, and you people that are in control, you globalists, I mean, they're already on my ass, so I might as well just say what I want to. They're on everybody's ass. And they got that big facility up there in Utah that they built with billions of dollars of NSA, sitting right out there in the open. Hint, hint, hint. How hard would it be for that thing to disappear? Hint. Seriously. That's what I'm talking about. You know, these people in this country sit around on their ass and they talk about, I don't like it. But they don't do shit. They're not warriors. They don't have courage. They should be willing to go down fighting. die fighting like a warrior rather than accept this. You know, my dad told me when I was a kid, he said, don't take shit from anybody. I don't care who it is. If you go on a job and your boss starts giving you shit, tell him off. Tell him to stick it, even if you lose your job, or just walk off the job. Say, I'm not taking this shit. That's what my dad told me. That's how he raised me. He goes, you're a person. We're all equal. We're all should have the same self-esteem. Nobody should lord it over us. Don't take any shit from anybody. Bosses, governments, landlords, anybody. Just people in general. Don't take it. That's what my dad taught me. Now, was that right or wrong? I think it's right. It's got me in a lot of trouble. I've lost a few jobs and I've walked off a few jobs because of it. Or if, you know, like I worked in the corporate field, I managed, you know, I was a station manager for an airline and all kinds of stuff. And I just, if they started getting on my ass, I just tell them to stick it. And suffer the consequences. But it sure made me feel good because I knew that nobody owned me. Nobody does own me. I don't care what they do to me. Or I don't care what anybody does. Screw them. Or screw it. Whatever they want to do. Because I'm too old to worry about it. I'm not going to stress out over every goddamn thing that somebody lays on my head. I'm just doing the best I can with what I have. And you people out there that want to badmouth me or libel me or slander me, and you know who you are. I'm doing the best I can, so you know what you can do. I got a little file now that's got a label on it. It says frigate. You know what I'm saying? That's where everything goes when I get email that I don't like. That's where everything goes from now on. Unless there's some kind of compassion or you know, some kind of full disclosure. Because you don't know nowadays, you know. So anyway, I guess I've ranted enough today. Got a lot off my chest. I'll tell you what, this world is bonkers. The stuff they're doing to people, the stuff that when they could have used all this technology and we deserve everything we get. If you allow yourself to be a slave, you deserve it. You deserve it. If you allow the system to run you and to kill people and murder people and you're in fear of them all the time and their bullshit, false flags, where they put up this stuff like ISIS and all this BS, or they create fear in people with different things like Ebola and ISIS and the financial thing. And man, I've seen so many financial people lately, it's coming out my ears. They're, you know, and they're supposed to be alternative people, but they work for these same people that they're talking about. They do billionaire deals and all this stuff, and they even say, oh yeah, I'm proud of it. I know this person and that person, but here, I'm going to tell you the truth. Hell, they are. And you ask them, well, when's the system going to end, or when is it going to reset, or when is the financial collapse coming? Well, I can't put an exact date on it, but it's coming. I think that's another charade, too, the whole financial system. That's just another slave-oriented idea to keep people in slavery, to keep them wondering, to keep them thinking that things are going to be. But when when you got stuff coming down like what this trucker talked about, them monitoring every goddamn thing you do, it's just a matter of time before they come down on your ass. You know, if you wanted to renounce your citizenship, say you wanted to leave this country and renounce you, they charge you. Did you know that? They charge you like $2,500 or something to renounce. Fuck them. You know, pay to renounce your citizenship. If I want to go to another country, I'll go. Of course, you can't without a passport, or doesn't mean you can't cross the border, though. There's lots of border. It's being done all the time. I'm liable to flee to Canada. Hide out in the whatever. There's too much heat here. And I'm talking about not the kind of heat I'm in now, temperature-wise, but just heat. If you people want me on here, you're going to have to help me somehow get a radio station going, or get a radio program going. Or if you want me on here still, if you want Thunder on here, then you're going to have to get people to sign up and pass this video around and get more people to know me. But I want quality people. I don't want a bunch of people that are idiots. I'd rather have a circle, like a tribe. And if anybody out there has the resources to help Campfire Council, or Thunder, hell, Thunder's ready to move on. Thunder's ready to go somewhere different, secluded, out of the way. You got a little room somewhere where Thunder can stay in a nice, pristine, quiet environment? Hey, I'm open to it. I'll be your neighbor. I'll be your your counselor, your personal whatever. I could teach you a lot, but hey, I'm open to anything. I'm open to anything. I've always been a rolling stone, man. It's like I can't sit in one place too long. If I do, I might go under. Anyway, I guess I'll leave it there today. I'm kind of ranting. I'm just fed up with what's going on. There's just people don't bond together enough and become family and grassroots and that type of thing. It ain't happening anymore. We're all slaves, and we're so caught up in the slavery end of it and the fear of it and what somebody else might do to us, because we're trying to perpetuate goodness any way we can. I've been working hard on this Campfire Council thing, but everywhere you go, you run into a brick wall or somebody with their hand out that wants to spend your money. You try to get something going. And people are, they're locked into their mode of, their mentality of, their cliquish mentality, like even in towns. or their good old boy mentality where they're locked in and outsiders are considered. And a lot of these people are Christians, or they have their little community and they can't think outside the box. I don't care what religion. If you can't think outside the box and you can't open your eyes and see what the hell's happening to you in this country, it's a brick wall. You're talking to a brick wall. We need to get together, all of us that have some kind of mentality, some kind of IQ, somebody that's not a troll, somebody that's not a wise ass, like you see on YouTube all the time. Oh, you idiot, and you're stupid, and you don't know this. I mean, that's what they call each other. Or the Jews are bad, or the Zionists are doing this, and all they do is complain and sit on their ass, and they don't do a friggin' thing about it. They just make little wise ass comments. Hell, when I make a comment on YouTube, I write an article, hoping to wake some people up. Because I'm tired of it. I hope it all goes down, really. I hope Putin does blow a bunch of shit up. I hope he levels NATO. That's what I hope. At least it'll wake some people up. He needs to... He could be kind of a savior in a way. If people are always looking for a savior, well, I know this sounds out there, but all the people that we thought were enemies, like China and Russia and all these people, are not. If anything, they might be our friends. They might be the best thing that ever happened. Because this country's run by globalists, and they're not a part of that. I don't believe that Russia and China... They have their own global type system, but they're not into being controlled and all their people being controlled any more than what they are. Everybody's controlled. I mean, you'd be an idiot not to think that everybody in every country's controlled, but the difference is that when you invade other countries and you just don't leave them alone. And Russia did not invade the Ukraine. The Ukraine was part of Russia, and all those people are Russian. They're all Slavic people. They all rode reindeers at one time. They're all of the same ilk. They're all of the same, and they're fighting each other. They're killing each other. They're butchering each other in the Ukraine, all because of the West fomenting unrest and sending in a bunch of Nazi skinheads and mercenaries. And so, of course, Putin has to do something on a covert level, but I think he should just go in on an overt level and kick some ass. Say, hey, it's over. Putin, if you're listening to me, do it, brother. You're not the enemy. Not to me, you're not. So anyway, I'm going to leave it there today. Check out the links. Write me. I'm open to friendship with kindred people. That's what I want. We should be hooking up. We should be helping each other. We should be offering each other solace and spiritual counseling and material goods or whatever. So I'm out of here. Thought I'd do that today. Feels like it's cooling down in here a little bit, but I'm telling you what, the coast is roasting. And there's also, not only is there a hurricane coming up the Baja, but there's been 4 or 5 earthquakes. So who knows? Maybe this is it. Anyway, I'm Thunder, over and out. Take care, people. Blessings to you. Love you all, really do. I love my fellow man, or I wouldn't waste my time. And that's worth to me more than any amount of money. Bye.